Can I help you? Can I help you?
What is this thing? What, the interior decorating kind? You know, I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess? So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
The door is closed.
Who is it?
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open. I'm drying my hair.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere. You could snoop around before going up. This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there. It's been used quite a lot, but not for scrubbing blood off towels or anything else interesting, it seems. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoperidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra.
An opioid receptor antagonist. It's used for diamorphine overdoses.
You could say he's on the lookout. Pill bottles rattle like the lieutenant glances at the road. You could say he's on the among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian. Marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how. This medicine cabinet is stocked with drug, a bright orange bottle with peptide stamped on it, in sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container. And your chest swells with pride. Look, it's made right here in Revachol by San Baptiste, a proud Revacholian pharmaceutical company with great traditions. It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed. Silently, the bottle slides into your palm. Then, as you turn, into your pocket. Feels so sleek and beautiful. You got it. Here comes the afterburner. Time to become a super detective again, Harry. Just put it in your sweaty little hand now. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo, smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
Looks like it, yes.
You know which window has not been recently replaced? Maybe it isn't. I mean, 24-hour window is out of business. What were your options? Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a Maybell. The young woman looks at the Maybell in your hand, just a glance, then takes a drag of her cigarette. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod.
Welcome to the roof.
Her hair is still slick from a shower. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will. It's much nicer now.
Where the dead body used to hang, clearly visible from the roof, but no longer.
Thank you for that, officers. Truly. Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there. They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the infernum.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I believe you have already met my colleague from Precinct 41.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious orchestrations I have seen in my life. And I have seen a few. Oh yeah. Life gets hard, but we go on. Oh, I've got a couple of good years left on my warranty.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult.
Yeah. It's pretty deluxe.
No one likes to talk about their dirty laundry and their empty bottles. Maybe if you phrase it emotionally.
Yeah. I've contaminated it pretty bad. The contamination spreads from room to room. First, I escaped upstairs. The SAD got that too. Then I found the handle for the summer door. For me, it's a mix of me with a lack of cleaning services. How about you? Talk around the establishment is, you have an industrial SAD spill in there. That's pretty hardcore. I'm part of the anti-human task force myself. I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in November. Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol. I heard this is where the washed-up disco has-beens go. I'm really not. Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachon, but you should still reprimand her. No, don't listen to the stiff. Be cool.
With money, sir. It's not exactly the NT-star size caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there. Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry. Oh, yes. One of my favorites. It cures many ailments, like not being able to stay up for 36 hours, not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a merit speed molecule, basically. Very funky. It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook.
Okay.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, tall and sparkling and draped in smoke.
Clasier Amandou. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. Something stupid. Oranese lit. Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university. Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are. Only the name of the nation changes.
If that's true, then Revacholian lit would fit you like a glove.
Nothing. I do nothing with it. Cool. I've made more money by just being than I have with Ranislet. Many things. A roller skating instructor, a secretary, Miss Ranier 37. I'm 28. I'm afraid you can't, officer.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor. Why?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. Look, officers, I like this place, but I don't want to be stuck wandering the city like a ghost after being robbed of my travel documents. I don't want to become an indentured servant in a brothel on Boogie Street, and I don't want my relatives to pay the ransom.
There are plenty of other reasons for hiding your documents from the law.
It's also why I hid it.
Why else?
I'm an unpopular girl. There are people back home who don't like me. If they show up, I'm in a hurry. The kind of hurry where you can't afford to not find your documents. But don't worry, this has nothing to do with your investigation. I would love to change the subject. It's not important. Unless I'm some kind of suspect. Phew. If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausia Mondu. It's a weird name.
She seems to be telling the truth, sire.
Okie dokie.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
A bad memory, officer, of lilacs and lightning, parks, glass, duraluminum. Redefort is a conference city. It's always autumn there. And night. At least it was for me.
What's so bad about that?
Nothing, if you're no longer there. The record, so official.
She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp, like a mini dagger. The petal crumbles on contact.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style? A martial art, sir. Is that it?
Samurai boxing, or sambo, graceful martial arts stuff. Sambo style implies stealth and cool.
Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind? Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean? By sexually assaulted, you mean raped?
Yes.
It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it? Is it? It is afternoon. Time flies, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him.
By him, she must mean the victim.
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
It's all very organic. Her mannerisms, her movements. If she's acting, she's quite gifted.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Pretty much.
Warming them.
I'm 89% sure. You know how it is.
Do you?
Maybe you don't.
There are numerous cigarette burns on those silvery scales. Easy to see now that you're closer.
In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here. Let me make this 100% clear then, officer. I was not sexually assaulted. Would I be as flippant if I had been? We partied. A lot of partying going on.
From Titus. About her and Titus's relationship. That's where you heard it.
With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Oh, it is. You're still alive.
What did you do when you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex. A little. The drugs were good enough, and we did enough of them.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that. Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant. He takes a small step closer.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes,
Jackpot.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Ravachol, miss.
Because I couldn't handle it anymore. None of these people called. He just kept hanging there. Then they started stripping him. I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
So, she's God's mystery foam cutter.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying. Good catch. I appreciate the symmetry. Still, that's pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Thanks.
She looks a bit like a little girl who's just been complimented on her bike repair skills.
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
We're not entirely convinced about that answer, but okay, let it slide. Pushing won't help here.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about his, I don't know, hair.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
They're frequent guests downstairs. They have a booth for Union members. They're probably down there now. Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter. A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have. Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter. Bullet? They shot him too?
I'm not picking up on any theatrecraft here, sir. The pause is sincere.
They stripped his clothes and they shot him?
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused, sorry.
So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot, miss?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened. I just know what they told me. And Sylvie, the bartender.
This is beginning to get confusing for you too, and we don't like that. Where was she last Sunday night?
Cowering. I was cowering downstairs with Sylvie.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the brackets. Sounds like it's heavy, too. Very...
I don't know, Lieutenant Yefreiter. It is not the first closed door we found in this building. There is also your mysterious blue kitchen door. I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case. The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant. I hate it when that happens.
The same small, heavy door.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window. Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan. What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. You think so? She seemed forthcoming. Unusually so. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back here soon enough.
Six crumbling petals rest on your palm. They're white, a bell-shaped crown.
This is the Insulindian lily, called Maybells or Lucille's tears during the Revolution. Girls used to pin these on soldiers before sending them off to battle. The revolutionaries saw the communards and the anarchists. White's their color, but the custom started in the suzerain's army, so it held meaning for the kingsmen too. It's about girls and boys more than sides. Girls sending off boys who are going to their deaths, then also dying themselves in the ruins from dysentery and consumption. It's a symbol of the Civil War. Yes, but not this early, not to my knowledge. It looks dried, preserved. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see.
The petals feel dry and fragile in your hand. Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches, light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket, hanging from it, a bronze key. Someone hid the key in the bush and attached a yellow ribbon to make it easier to find. It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence.
Huh?
I don't know about that. I'm comfortable here. Don't think any sliding would really help right now.
Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that. The hawthorn's got a bitch of a bite.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch and slides it across the table to you. The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched into its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the harm in...
I'm tired of listening to your shit. Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
Didn't even know it was there. Boys.
No idea.
Never even seen it. Someone must have hidden it there before this room became our place.
It could open the door in the kitchen. The blue door. It says workshop spare. Maybe there's a workshop there?
It's worth a try. You see a heavy steel door with the key fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort to turn it after all these years. But then the lock clicks. Dust rises before you like mist. A tomb? Haunted by regal spirits from distant ages? No. Smells like engine grease and cut wood. A workshop. Over there, in the corner. Not just any pinball machine. This is the pinnacle of pinball. Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats. It's lit. You can't wait to get your hands on it.
The pinball machine. Gordy's Goats. A classic. A little. Great.
Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats reads the golden lettering on top of the back box. There's a small column of text underneath. The machine is coin-operated. Get the game on, Fingerboy. Those flippers are ready. Above the painting of a mustached man climbing a hill, a column reads, inspired by the legend of Cornelius Gordy, taken on the world's tallest peak, Corpus Muindi. The Mesk legend holds that when the nation is in danger, heroic Gordy shall return and save his people. The theme of the game is to explore Gordy's climb through the perspective of goats and to ascend to the top of the mountain in a time of trouble. The peak of the mountain is at the top of the playfield. All the balls have small goat icons on them and represent the goats as they race up and down the mountain. Areas around the playfield represent Gordy's climb, places he was said to have camped, which the goats can discover. Get them to the summit. Indeed, think of them as balls. All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played. Feels like it might jump back to life any moment, the lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
Some kind of inane pinball theme, probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst.
The lieutenant grimaces, looking at the machines.
No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball?
He doesn't.
No. You can't fire them up. They are broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works. The Royalist Pinball.
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now. Kim, Pinball, Kitsuragi. Exactly. That's what he's known as. His reputation precedes him.
So now he remembers. Fine, I'm Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, aka the Kimball. You remembered. Congratulations. Wonderful. He only remembers hearing about the pinball policeman. No human being should. It is a game that requires no skill and a childlike affinity to flashing lights and to fantastic, science fiction, and historic romance franchise. It is lame. I am not called Pinball. It was used to taunt me a long time ago, before I became a homicide detective and got my lieutenancy. Fine. I was a juvenile police officer for over 15 years. It's how I started out in the RCM. Once I had to infiltrate a pinball ring, as you do when you're a juvie cop. Unbelievably. To do that, I needed to become a pinball champion. I trained for 9 months. The job was successful and I was moved out of the juvenile wing to homicide. End of story. That time is over now. I was already a 38-year-old man. It was unbecoming, as was playing pinball. It's best if you handle the juvenile delinquents. Lieutenant Kitsuragi is good too. Now, we really need to continue our sweep of what appears to be a secret path through the whirling.
This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside. Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in. The maintenance card under the control panel reads, Last maintenance, 10th July, 88.
That it does. I say, let's brave it. At the end of the last century. Look on the bright side. If it fails, we will only sustain minor injuries. I'm talking 3, maybe 4 months in the hospital. Maximum 5.
There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descend, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken.
Seems like a small freight elevator for transporting machinery. For that, it's pretty quaint.
So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up, a long time ago. Everything is covered with dust now. The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room, inspecting the tools on the shelf.
At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe, before pinball went out of vogue. Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel. There are machines left over.
A creak. Some dust falls off a shelf.
Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the Hardies bang away at it.
Remember the dice maker? Then that means...
Ah, yes, as the novelty dice maker said. This has absolutely nothing to do with the case, I'm sure. But I do like a nice little connection.
But then it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection.
If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. We should tell him what we found up here, omitting that suspicion. He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story about bankruptcy.
Stupid superstition. But still, it would be interesting to see what the cafeteria manager thinks of this. It's not a ghost story. It's a curse. And Gart ought to be made knowledgeable so he can perform counterspells. You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new. 3 weeks maximum from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer.
This is so good it makes him forget the whole Kimball memory.
It was a stereo investigation after all. It has now converged with our main investigation, adding a new fact to consider. It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, behind Classius' room, in the recent weeks. This may prove to be significant.
Large prints, most likely made by Boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than Vamp. The soles have left the pattern, uniform. Horizontal lines. One person has been here. They've gone back and forth. The tips point both ways.
Between that and that. The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person. No, these little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me, or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor. You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural there. Sensationally unnatural. This is the inside of the barred door you've seen before.
Unless we've veered off into a folded M dimension, I'm expecting to step out on the roof. We could ask Glacia about this route, see how she reacts.
Yes, it is quite likely that we will re-emerge on the M plane. Brace for psychokinetic impact. Or the roof.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions. Yeah? I did not. Mystery solved then. I kept wondering where it led.
There may be more to this mystery at some later time. She's holding back. Let's make a mental note for now.
Huh. This isn't good.
She's straight as a stick, suddenly.
A peephole? You mean like a hole in the wall?
Yes, looking into your bedroom, miss.
Okay.
A jitter of fear and disgust moves through her body, beginning from her shoulders and ending in her hips. The cigarette tastes foul to her now.
Do you think this is somehow connected to me? Okay. Do you have any way of knowing how long it has been there?
Unfortunately, no. But if I were to guess, long enough. The perforation is under the bookshelf on your wall. It should not be hard to cover with some tape.
Shit. I don't know. Maybe it's been there for a long time. Maybe the local kids use it or something. I don't know. I'll be fucking covering it up with a lot of tape, that's for sure. Was there anything else back there? Okay. I'm glad someone's had fun. Mm-hmm. All right. Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m., drinking coffee, most likely.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Well, well. Bringing him that new bird sure made a difference in his attitude.
Another thing. Great. I love those. Oh, okay. Well, I did hear you make noise back there, so good for you.
He's really holding himself back here. It takes a lot of willpower not to ask. Obviously, he's been wanting to know what's behind the door.
Okay, what is back there? Ha! I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines by the door came from. And they told me there was some kind of pinball thing here too. I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean. No, I was just wondering if you found pinball machines there.
He was wondering about something business-related, about how much money he could make of one.
Capitalist plot. The pinball we have in the corner now is broken. I want to diversify the entertainment options. It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here. Other than the hellish karaoke machine. That one's always causing trouble.
Yeah, those numbers he's adding up must be making good sense to him right now. Sounds like he cares about the place. He's not going to be overjoyed to hear that it's part of the doomed commercial area. He should still know. You have to be forewarned about these things.
What? Why would you say that? We're at a completely different address from that whole thing.
So he knows of the doomed commercial area.
Everyone knows of it. I've been working here for a long time, and that intercom has never been used by the Whirling. Does this look like part of a doomed commercial area? This pre-revolutionary tilework, these high ceilings, the nice rooms, well, most of the rooms. For 14 years, man. That's how long I've worked here. I've kept this place up through hail and through sleet. Fuck me, if some doom ghost... Yeah, it's slowly growing on me again. It's beautiful in its own way, especially for this neighborhood. I've been trying to keep it that way, even if it is part of the damn doomed commercial area. I don't place much stock in the curse and so on, but the label frightens the clientele. Who wants to stay at a doomed hostel? Everything's some real estate management company. They never come around here, just collect money from afar. Honestly, I think some money laundering might be involved. Well, it sure as hell wasn't the real estate company.
It was you?
You look surprised. What? It's a great name, I know. Cafeteria managers come up with great names too. It's from a song. Hail, Holy Queen, by the Ateniers. Hail, Holy Queen of the Sea. You're whirling in rags, you're vast and you're sad.
Good pick.
Luck has got nothing to do with it. I need to think about where I'm going to place those pinballs. I have a feeling they're going to help. So, if you didn't have anything else to tell me about my establishment, can we, wrap it up?
What wall?
I'll have it fixed at once. Thank you for letting me know. I assure you, the Whirling does not abide spying on its guests.
The color has drained from his face.
Absolutely not. Fuck you for even implying it. It wasn't me. It wasn't my staff. The establishment will look at it and ascertain what it was.
Well, he's definitely not lying. He wouldn't endanger this business like that.
Sir, he was only asking a question. It's his job and mine. See that it's covered.
Yes, I absolutely will. Sorry, it's been a bit of a day. And now a hole in the wall. Thank you, I'll patch it up personally. Was there something else about the establishment? Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do what they do. I thought we had one good guest in the building.
He really doesn't like it being classier.
Yeah, well, she's not a guest, is she?
What? Did someone mention my name?
We were just paying you a compliment. And finding out a degenerate from room 3 nicked the phone line. Everything is okay here. Good thing that guest pays for her stuff on time. I'll forward her the bill and be done with it. Was there anything else? Yes.
Fairweather T500. Remember that weakness you were looking for in the ceramic armor? Like, maybe it can only stop small, fast projectiles, but a large, slow-moving pry bar would shatter it? Or, if I run an electrical current through it, maybe it will melt. Or, personal favorite, frequency something something radio weapon? None of that would work. You need to shoot the part of the enemy that doesn't have Fairweather T500 on it, because the armor itself is invulnerable. Good news is, so are the armor pieces on you.
Mm-hmm.